You know, from the office you work in to the very city you live in, there's this hidden layer of software that's quietly bringing order to what would otherwise be total chaos. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that invisible tech, the stuff that manages our smartest spaces, and see how it turns all that chaos into control.
So think about your office for a second, or really any big building. You've got security systems, lights, heating, fire alarms, a dozen different things all running at once. But here's the real question, the one that probably keeps facility managers up at night. Are any of them actually talking to each other?
And that question right there, it gets us straight to the heart of the problem. It's what I like to call the chaos of disconnection. See, in our big rush to make everything smart, we've kind of ended up with buildings full of brilliant but totally isolated technologies that just operate on their own.
Yeah, in a typical building, all of these systems are basically in their own little bubbles. The security team has no idea what the fire detection system is up to, and neither of them are chatting with the HVAC controls. They're all completely independent, which means nobody, and I mean nobody, has the full picture. Each system is its own little island.
And the result of that? Well, when something goes wrong, you get massive blind spots. An operator might see a fire alarm go off on one screen, but then they have to manually switch to a whole different system just to see the camera feed for that area. This slows everything way down, and frankly, it creates these incredibly stressful situations for the people who have to manage it all.
So, how in the world do you fix this digital mess? Well, the solution is actually pretty elegant. You bring everything together onto what the industry calls a single pane of glass. Just one unified platform where you can see and control everything.
Okay, so there is a technical name for this, of course. It's called Physical Security Information Management, or just PSIM for short. At its core, it's a type of software that's built specifically to integrate all those separate systems, your security, your safety, your building management, and let you run the whole show from one central spot.
You know, probably the best way to think about it is like a central nervous system for a building. If all the individual systems, the cameras, the sensors, the alarms, are the eyes, ears, and limbs, then the PSIM platform is the brain. It takes in all the signals, figures out what's going on, and coordinates one unified response.
So that all sounds great in theory, right? A central brain for a building. But how does it actually work in the real world? How can one platform possibly connect to so many different devices from so many different brands? Well, the secret is something called an open architecture.
The real power of an open platform is that it's designed from the ground up to connect to almost anything. It's not just linking up security stuff like your access cards and cameras. No, it's also pulling in safety systems like fire alarms and even building controls for things like your HVAC and your energy usage. All of a sudden, everything is under one roof. The whole process really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you connect. The software is built to be brand agnostic, meaning it can link up to whatever systems you already have. Second, you unify all that information into a single, easy-to-use dashboard. And third, and this part is absolutely key, you automate. The system gives operators clear, predefined procedures to follow for any kind of event.
For an operator sitting in a control room, this is a total game changer. Instead of juggling half-dozen different systems, they have advanced alarm handling that automatically pulls up the right video feed. They can manage huge video walls, use GIS maps to send out mobile units, all from one screen. It's all about bringing clarity to those moments of crises.
Okay, so we've looked at how it all works under the hood, but let's zoom out a bit. What does this actually mean for the real world? Well, the impact is huge. It's about creating environments that are truly smarter and way more responsive.
You hear that buzzword, smart building, thrown around all the time. Well, this is the engine that actually makes it smart. A building isn't smart just because it's packed with sensors. It's smart when all those sensors and systems work together in a coordinated way. And that is exactly what a PSIM platform makes possible.
And this idea, it doesn't just stop at a single building. Not at all. It scales up. The exact same principles of integration are being used to create smart cities. Using this kind of tech to manage citywide assets way more efficiently, everything from traffic flow to public transit. And the applications are popping up in all sorts of diverse and critical industries, often in places you wouldn't even expect. We're not just talking about corporate offices here. This tech is being used to manage hospitals, secure major transit hubs, protect financial data centers, and even coordinate massive logistics operations. It's really becoming the backbone for dozens of industries we rely on every day.
So where is all this headed? What's next? Well, the answer really lies in the core strengths of these modern platforms. They give us a pretty good hint about the future of integration itself.
The strengths of these modern platforms tell a very clear story.
They have to be fast and easy to set up. They need to be modular so they can connect with pretty much anything. They absolutely have to be secure enough to meet tough international standards. And, maybe most importantly, they have to be intuitive so that in a high-stress moment, anyone can use them effectively without needing months of training.
And, behind all the technology and the code, there's a really clear mission. The folks who developed this platform put it very simply. It's all about building software that matters. The goal here is to create tools that help real people do critical jobs better, especially when the pressure is on.
Which really leaves us with one final fascinating question. We've gone from connecting a few cameras and doors to connecting entire buildings and even whole cities. As our world gets more and more connected, packed with smart devices, the real question isn't if we'll integrate them. It's what are we going to choose to integrate next?